Type shit, come on, I'm doing unk shit. Fuck all that young shit, I'm good with unk shit. Type shit, activities, I'm doing unk shit. Fuck all that young shit, I'm good with unk shit. Activities. Posted up on the island with a bitch. They call me Unc cause I ain't on that dumb shit. Yeah, I'm rich, but act broke with a bitch. Duval Day, I really do it for the kids. Getting checks, never got to work a job. No Viagra, dick still getting hard. I can make your auntie swipe a credit card. OG in the game, realest that you ever seen. Aunties get down on the flow. Show these young ass hoes how it go. Back it up like Freak Nick 94. If she under 24, it's a no. Come on.
What's up, nieces and nephews? Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share.
If you want to support, hit up my Cash App at $UncBeStreaming. Any donation will be greatly appreciated. Thanks in advance.
Shout out to all my people checking me out on Rumble. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share. Show some love, y'all.
Give a nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. How much more can I take? Give a nigga a break.
What's up, nieces and nephews? Welcome back to Insomniac Theater with your boy Unk B streaming in the house for all the late night people that can't sleep. To all my nocturnal people, my night owls, my vampires, team no sleep in the house again. You know we up. Yo, as you know, it's Insomniac Theater, so I just be out here doing shit, talking about anything. I try to do a little something different. Not so intense, not so serious. We just gonna have a good time. We always try to learn something over here. I definitely learn something all the time. I hope y'all learn something, especially with the videos we've been doing lately. Tonight, as you see in the topic, real life superpowers and powers created through tech. I wrote that wrong. So we're going to look at some videos of some people that claim, or people claim, that they got real life superpowers. And we're going to look at some stuff with some people using tech to recreate various superpowers. And I think that's going to be really cool. I even think we got some videos from the guys we watched yesterday that used their tech to, create some superpowers. But, superpowers are one of those things we always been fascinated with. Even when we was a little kid, we watching Superman and Spider-Man and The Flash. And as you get older, you have those conversations about what superpower would you want to have, what would be the coolest superpower. Mine has always been some form of teleportation. A lot of people want to fly. That's cool and all. I prefer teleportation, but I would like it to be short range and long range. You know what Nightcrawler from X-Men do is cool, but I also like the stuff that Jumper can do. So I guess I already have the powers like that movie Jumper. If you haven't seen it, check it out, called Jumper. It's an outstanding movie. Samuel L. Jackson in it. Does Batman count as a superhero? In the comic book world, yes, because he is a hero. He wears a super suit, but he ain't that super. Maybe vigilante, mass vigilante. Can a mass vigilante be a superhero? I think with superhero, you gotta have superpowers. We're gonna run with that. I think for a superhero, you gotta have superpowers. That should be the rule. If that's not the rule, I think that should be the rule. To be a superhero, you gotta have superpowers. So let me know in the chat, people, if y'all can have a superpower, one power, and I'm gonna be nice. You get the basic extra stuff that come with that power to make the power make sense. Like if you pick super strength, your muscularity and your bone density and all that adjusts to adapt for the super strength. Because if you got super strength and you got a normal skeleton, you might can pick something up, but it's gonna tear your muscles, crush you, etc. You'll rip your arms out of the shoulder before you lift some stuff if your body not built up to a certain level. And that's just like some physics shit. So when you pick this superpower, you get the base level abilities that it would take for that power to work. Like super speed. Of course, you're gonna get the base level stuff of the reflexes, your mind being able to work as fast as your body, because your body can move fast and your mind can't. Whoop de whoop. You also might get some kind of force field around you when you run, because if you're really running at super speeds and it's dust particles in the air, that can fuck you up. But most speedsters make a little field around them when they run, so you get all that kind of shit. But anyway, so I threw all that out there to give y'all some more wiggle room with y'all selections of powers in your head, whatever. Some people be like, I want to read minds. I don't want to do that. I honestly don't want to know what some of y'all motherfuckers thinking. There's people I don't want to know what they think about me. I would rather not read minds. Mind control? That's a whole different thing. I don't want to read your mind. I just want to control your mind. Pimping. My superpower gonna be pimping. No, just one. Yeah, when I think about it, I can work teleportation and mind control both pretty well. They both will be fun in their own ways. They both will be cool in their own ways. Equally, just different. Yeah. I think I can get more done with the mind control powers. If I have a superpower, it'd be to control the mind of others. I wouldn't be no villain. But I will control a couple billionaires. You got 189 billion. Why me, 10 of them billion? Like, it ain't gonna hurt you. What the hell? No butt millimeter. But the fact that your mind went there so quickly, you telling on yourself. No. But I will have some people transfer me their money, like I was saying. And with that, the pussy gonna cometh. See, any dude that enjoy taking poo nanny has a mental illness and he's sick. something like that couldn't even turn me on. I don't even like pillow princesses or starfish. You know, those chicks that's kind of just lay there and they'll let you get them, they'll let you sleep with them, but they just ain't got no interaction. I find that to be very, very, very boring. So I think any dude that's out there graping, them niggas is sick. They sick because they get turned on during that act. That's some deviant ass behavior. It's a special place in jail in hell for anybody that's about that life. Y'all can pick the order. Jail in hell, whatever comes first, right? Yeah, man, those stars. Yeah, like I say, I had like rules. I don't ever like to sleep with drunk women unless we're already dating and in a relationship and we went out to get drunk together and you live with me type shit. And even then, I don't want you too drunk. You gotta still be able to interact. Like I said, them people we ain't gonna get too much on that because it's a dark topic, but them people gotta be sick. When you do that act, especially the serial ones that do it, them niggas need to get caught and they can't get back in society. Cause you can't turn that level of depravity off in your head. Candy Kane says she wants reality manipulation. She says a God tier power. I can do just about anything, including bring back the dead. Yeah. Most reality manipulation. This is a thing, though. Comic book characters with reality manipulation powers, usually that reality eventually begins to crack. I never see many times in a comic, even when Franklin Richards made a different reality and put all the heroes in it when everybody thought they was dead. Eventually, the heroes started realizing that someone right in a memory one coming back. Started coming back and shit. So I never really see that power being omnipotent per se. Sometimes people who have that power, they have a radius. Yes, but millimeter. See, you know your stuff. You know your stuff, good sir. Exactly, Heroes Reborn world. But that is a cool, badass power. Now, I don't know what range. I guess since we're doing fantasy world, you can have whatever range you want. Is yours going to be worldwide, where your reality manipulation is permanent? Is it permanent? Is it like a permanent manipulation? You know, once you do it, is it just stuck? Then I guess that's God level shit for sure. It's God level shit for sure. But you know, superpowers are cool to talk about. You know, I got bad luck, right? If I got bit by the radioactive spider, Candy says permanent as long as she's alive or until she changes it. That's dope. I think it was a character that had a similar power like that on My Hero Academia. Later in the seasons, y'all watch that anime. She's like a hero in America. She had red, white, and blue on, kind of like All Might. She had blonde hair. And she had these powers where she can set a rule and make a rule. And whatever rule she set, that's just what is, and it can't be broken until she changes it or something. It was a pretty cool power. I don't remember the character's name and stuff, because actually I didn't even get that far in the anime. I just like run across stuff online and it looked cool, then I end up reading about it, and then a lot of weird shit stick in my memory per se. So like I said, I got nigga luck, right? If I had got a bit by the radioactive spider like Spider-Man, I probably would have looked all mutated and shit. I would have been more of a man spider. I probably had like 8 eyes and arms. I've been all fucked up and shit. You know, he get by the radioactive spider and he changed normally. You know, he get all these cool abilities. I just got that bad luck. If I had a guy hit by the gamma ray like the Hulk did, I would have turned all big and giant and green and shit. I probably would have just caught the radiation and caught fucking cancer. So yeah, if y'all want superpowers, don't go rolling around in no radioactive goo. You're not gonna get devil abilities. You're gonna get third-degree burns and all kinds of other fucked up shit. But there is a way we could possibly get powers. And we're going to go back to our favorite tech guys. And we're going to use the first character that Candy brought up that might be her favorite character, since she brought him up so quick. And that is Batman. Batman is tech, like she said. And tech can definitely be created. We about to find out if we can get, as regular people, the tech unquote powers of Batman. Oh, she said Batman don't count. But surveys say that a high percent of men think that they can be Batman. Candy says with enough money, anyone can be Batman. There's only one way to find out, Candy.
Now, we've done a ton of Marvel projects. What about DC? Well, we've actually done more Batman projects than we have Iron Man projects. Why Batman? Well, Batman's one of those relatable superheroes.
Nice car. I should see another one.
I mean, not the billionaire part.
I'm buying this hotel.
But the fact that he's just a mere mortal using technology to be a superhero, which is why we decided to make Batman's gadgets real.
Can't wait for our next Make It Real episode? Did you know our YouTube members and Patreon supporters get to see our videos early and vote on future projects that we do? Learn more by clicking on the link in the description below or hitting that join button right next to subscribe.
Welcome to the Hacksmith Vault, where we revisit, revise, and revamp some of your favorite projects from over the years. And this is a chance for us to show you guys never before seen footage, too. This week's episode, Batman.
But if you're gonna do Batman projects, you better look the part. That being said, we never really had a really good Batman costume. Hey guys, I'm the Hacksmith. Human flesh. Oh wait, there was that Halloween party where I had a bit of a Batman costume, and then I got hit with a flaming guitar.
Jokes aside.
These niggas just be doing anything. They random as fuck. They random as fuck. They goofy as fuck. But these dudes are smart as fuck. And I don't know what they finna build, but I bet that shit finna be wild. I don't know. Cause we seen these dudes work. This shit finna be Batman as fuck. So, is that a phrase? It is now. Batman as fuck. Better not mess with me. I'm Batman as fuck. Is that a good threat? They'll probably think you're goofy, but you gotta show them what you mean by it.
To be Batman, you need a Batarang, his most iconic gadget. So we started with the Batman Dark Knight Batarang, and this was a ton of fun. I'm a true Batman fan, let's try branding flesh.
Come on, baby.
And more recently, we actually did an awesome collaboration with Jerry Saval, where we recreated every Batman Batarang from comics, movies, video games, and TV shows.
I have all Batarangs finished.
Wow, that's a lot of Batarangs.
So after you make stuff like this, what the fuck do you do with it? Do they keep it? Do this shit got resale value? I would think it does. Cause they making these, because you know when they make stuff, they make it to actually be functional. Like I'm pretty sure every Batarang they make is sharp as fuck. It can actually be thrown into some shit. Cause they just do it, they weird like that.
This is the launcher.
3, 2, 1. Oh, that was nice. Oh yeah,
That's some serious.
that's about an 1.5 penetration. All right, your turn. Yeah, I've got one in the board. That's winning. Oh, look at that! A tie. Perfect kill shot. 3, 2, 1, go.
Dude, what? This was a bad idea.
But it worked.
How did you hit that?
After the Batarangs, almost 5 years ago now, we started working on one of our most functional Batman projects. And that was his rappelling hook. And no, I'm not pronouncing grappling wrong. This is a rappelling hook meant for going down a building. And it's really cool how this works. It's actually a 4-bar linkage that opens up. And what happens is you can connect it to, say, a gas pipe or anything else. And when you pull, it actually gets tighter. Now you can rappel off the side of the building. And when you relieve tension, the spring opens it back up and it falls back down.
Really hope this does work.
He really trusts that invention.
No.
He trusts that shit a whole lot. He trusts that shit enough to risk falling on his goddamn head. Ain't no way. Cause if he fall right now, there's no catching yourself. Though it's ain't nobody reflexes that fast in real life. Facts, but white boy crazy on another level. And he up there struggling, veins coming up in his neck and shit. He really pulling on that shit.
And the cool part about this project, this is actually the only product we have ever sold. That's right, I actually sold about 100 of these to some very lucky fans over 4 years ago now. And I guess
that answers my question. I said, what do they do with these things after they make them? And I guess this the only one he ever sold. That's surprising. But I guess if somebody want to buy them, it's a market for them. They had no problem selling them. That shit is strong as fuck. Like these dudes right here, their inventions usually fucking work. It's wild as shit. But yeah, that nigga riding on that bike and that shit yanked his ass. He fell right off that motherfucker.
it's our only official product that we ever actually manufactured and sold. After the rappelling hook, we had to make something even better. A grappling hook gun. And you know what? It worked really well.
So here's the main window we want to shoot the grappling hook through. And there's access to the roof. Stay away from the edge, dude.
I know all the time as black people, we be like that white boy shit, but these white boys out here having fun. All white boy shit ain't bad, and we need to get over that as a culture. Because I used to be like that real bad. And that's why it took me to be in my fucking 30s before the first time I went jet skiing. And after the first time I went jet skiing, I was hooked. But I would never go jet skiing because I thought that was white boy shit. And that was an awakening to diversify my portfolio on activities when it comes to like doing stuff for fun and not putting labels or stuff on shit. And I haven't looked back since.
That grappling hook gun worked really well, but it had one big issue. How do you climb up a rope that skinny? So we put our engineering thinking caps on and we actually created our very own winch system. It's rather complicated, but it uses two 2.5 kilowatt brushless DC motors to a custom gearbox we made. And this actually worked really well. I still think this is one of our most engineered YouTube projects we've ever done.
What I like about these guys, they be really like inventing. You know, they get ideas and they literally make shit that don't exist in that form in any kind of way, which is pretty dope. Next Level says, why black people consider all outdoor activities as white stuff? Yo, I don't know. You can't go, skiing, jet skiing, the shit where you pulling behind a boat on the inner tubing, canoeing, camping. That's white people stuff, man. But all that shit I just listed is fun as fuck. If we just gave it, there you go, mountain climbing, hiking. Nigga, hiking is white people stuff. See, great minds think alike. Should be fun to me. That's actually pretty fucking dope right there. He made a Batman grappling hook that can legit pull your ass up. That's really fucking dope.
Fortunately, I dislocated my shoulder during the last project, so I'm passing the bat mantle to Ian.
I'm Batman. I'm Batman.
Where'd Ian go with that grappling hook gun?
Now, after that project, we actually started working on our very first vehicle project here at Hacksmith Industries, and that was our Batman Baja. Basically, we were trying to make a mini Batman tumbler, and it was actually our first partnership with Accelerated Systems, Inc., the company that provided those awesome motors for our real-life Cybertruck. Anyway, the Batman Baja was a ton of fun. It was super fast, pretty powerful, and we added a bunch of cool gadgets. Crazy LED lighting everywhere, and we had a ton of fun testing it. The issue was, it never really ended up looking that much like the Batman tumbler, mostly because it was a Baja, not really a tumbler. But whatever happened to it?
Well, it's still in my backyard. Way back there in my tattered garage. Why is it snowing? Oh, there's the PUBG buggy too. Should really cover that up. Oh yeah, look. Nice sunroof, letting all the snow in. Anyway, here it is. It has been here for at least 3 years now. And it looks like a cat was living here. Look at all that fur. Oh, there's the keypad from the LED light.
That's building shit and letting it collect dust. If we had that shit, we'd be riding that shit every other day, regardless. I just been, sitting here in my tent for 3 years, fuck it. I got it like that. Oh my God. See, that's kind of a flex. The shit that niggas downplay is downplaying shit that they know other niggas will love to have is a twisted flex. I ain't saying he did it on purpose, but that's what he did though.
Lights. Oh, there's the relay box. Should really fix this garage though.
Which leads us to our last Batman project that we did just a few months ago now. And this project actually almost made me lose an eye. Seriously. With Jarisaval, we produced a rocket-powered Batarang. And this thing, well, it worked quite well when it worked correctly.
Ready? They didn't turn on. We tested it.
Yeah.
It worked.
And then James made the tiniest of mistakes. We're both looking at the Batarang because he had just fixed it. At this point, he said, maybe I should turn it on. And if the LEDs turn on, then we know the circuit's still good. And this happened.
James just turned the on switch on the rocket to see.
That was close.
That was terrifying.
Oh.
You're missing some eyebrows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woo. Never leave your Batarang loaded.
Oh, I almost forgot. There is one more Batman project that we forgot. Nightwing's Escrima-Sticks. Now, unfortunately, it's not working anymore, but in this video, you'll see how much fun we had with these. And that concludes our episode on Batman. Are there other Batman projects you'd like to see us complete?
Y'all didn't show us no superpowers. It was some cool tech, though. It was some cool tech. I'm not impressed. I don't yet feel like Unc be streaming can have superpowers one day. I don't feel
I'm building the
like what we saw can give me my abilities. So we're going to try another source. We're going to try another source. We're going to switch it over to another content creator and see if he can. Oh, it's already starting out looking powerful. Look at that. Powers. I don't know what that is. Just some fire. They do that shit at the circus. Well, we're going to let them cook, though. Can powers be created by tech?
most destructive and powerful superhero gadgets, like this real infinity glove, the most powerful thing in the universe, this insane repulsor, and a bunch more of your favorite superhero tech to see which one is the most powerful and effective gadget in real life. Because there's some bad guys in my neighborhood, and they took my VR goggles.
Authorities are investigating a series of unauthorized home entries.
So today, I'm going to build a bunch of superhero tech to put a stop to this. So I've got 8 gadgets we're going to test head to head to see which one would hypothetically be the most effective against a robber. First one is WebDart Insta-Kill versus Bat Ninja Star. Pretty good matchup. Bat Star up first. How bad could it be, right? Oh yeah, I forgot to say, these are explosive Bat Stars. Oh, that is way bigger than I thought. Oh my.
All right, this one's going to be a fun one.
This goes without saying, but do not try anything you see in this video. We're not actually going to use these on anyone, all in the name of science, education, and curiosity. But make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and comment if any of these impress you. Also, Alienware heard about the problem and wanted to help. They're challenging us to really level up our gadgets for this, using their powerful computing hardware and tech. So I'm going to be designing all of these gadgets, not like the sodium salt you eat. To these batarangs. So I'm going to be designing all of these gadgets on their high-performance laptops, and also using it for some sweet animation edits to really make this video the best it can be. Now, the secret to these Batarangs explosive kick is the metal it's made from. It's not normal metal like aluminum or steel. This is sodium, not like the sodium salt you eat, which is actually sodium and chlorine. This is pure sodium metal, which on its own is very reactive. Let's see what happens with this tiny piece. We got a little bit of water here. We're going to pop it in, see what happens. That's insane. That is ridiculous. Yeah, what's up? Is it dangerous to breathe? I'm gonna have to chat GPT that. Wow. Like honestly, forget Coke and Mentos. Try Coke and sodium. Much more effective. Legally required to say, do not try Coke and sodium because your friends probably won't be chill with it. I don't know, up to you. I'm actually not a lawyer. But it's actually super easy to make because even though sodium is a metal, it's super soft. So I hopped on the Area 51 gaming laptop, Alienware's flagship gaming laptop, which looks like a high-tech superhero gadget itself, whipped up a template, and we're able to cut it into shape. The only catch is that because sodium's so reactive, we need to do the whole thing covered in oil to stop it from reacting with the water and the air and exploding our hands off, which almost happened when I first opened it. Thought it was shipped in oil, but no, it wasn't. So when I opened it up, 11 pounds of sodium started sizzling on my desk. Remember, this is what 1 gram can do. So yeah, had to book it to the store and buy all the baby oil they had, which was super weird. And the manager was definitely judging me, but everything's all good now. So, but what would it do to a potential burglar. For that, we got these replica heads that should give us a pretty good idea. And we're gonna test each gadget on them.
Sure. Be still, be still. Let's see what it does to this head, huh? In 3, 2, 1.
That's really not a gadget to give you fucking superpowers. That shit look more like a fucking safety hazard. It seems more dangerous to you. This guy suck. They're not impressing me. Maybe it's not possible. That's why the title said, "Can powers be created through tech?" The Batman stuff was kind of cool, but the batarangs was the coolest thing. The other stuff was cool too, but not really functional. Especially the grappling hook. It was just all too slow and it was big as fuck. And now this guy come with a threat to yourself type weapons, and I don't know where the fuck you do that at.
Where? Everywhere. Turns out you'd be very safe. Yeah, his ear's a little cut off and his chin, but other than that, I think you'd be really chill. That being said, it did fuck up the entire yard and like did not get anywhere near our burglar. You might burn down your house, but the burglar will be safe. That's a tough start to this.
Right. He's got this thing. Do you want to take a bath with that?
It's like a bath bomb.
Yeah, bath bomb.
Okay, battering test. Go.
For justice.
Okay, let's just have
Oh my god.
This is kind of cool.
Yeah, it kind of looks serious.
Is this or is this terrifying? I don't know. This is cool though.
No, I don't think it is. Where's the
Overall, 1 out of 10. No damage to our burglar, but solid style points.
3, 2, 1.
Throw it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I think we're good.
There you go.
But can Arachnid Boy insta-kill beat it though? Yes, this is Arachnid Boy and nobody else. Because of copyright, we can't use names this time, which means I get to name everything. So how do we make this guy deadly? Well, back at our Alienware Design Center, I think I found a technique we can use. Also, Alienware was like, this setup's not good enough. So we're gonna upgrade it to the max. And now we have 4 monitors. This is actually the most insane computer setup I've ever seen. Along with the crazy graphics, they've also got this alien effects lighting, which is inspired by the Northern Lights to really give an otherworldly experience. And it's also the most
We get it, buddy. You're sponsored by Alienware. Can we get to something in the fucking video or nah?
powerful laptop setup for you gamers out there. So go check out the Area 51 gaming laptop at Rope Dart. That's but not for the reason you might blasters that you can actually at aw.gg/jlaser. And also follow Alienware on their socials if you're trying to game at the next level. Now I really gotta bring the heat with these inventions. These are real rope blasters that you can actually swing with. And obviously they can be super dangerous, but not for the reason you might think. Yeah, sure, you could fall and all, but the secret is in the tip. To get it stuck into the ceiling strongly enough so you can swing on it, I had to get creative. So I built a system that shoots an explosive rope dart.
That's it, baby. Rope out from the thing. Pulled out nicely. Thing went off. All right, well, the nail broke, but the nail is definitely in there.
On impact, it fires a charge, which drives a spike into whatever you're shooting at.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
And it works great for swinging, but naturally I'm curious, what would happen if you hit somebody with this? Let's find out.
It wasn't the most direct hit, but it still split the skull and it's still bleeding.
Yeah.
And we fractured the entire skull down to the back.
I'll just use a blicky if I wanted to do all that. Technology, you're not impressing me with recreating these superpowers. Are we gonna get our goddamn dreams fulfilled or not? I don't know if I even believe in this guy no more. Let's see what else we got around here. I don't trust this guy's abilities. I want my powers, man. I need some hope. I'm getting old. Still ain't got a chance to live my superhero dreams. And like I say, I got bad luck. Get bit by the radioactive spider, I'm gonna turn to some kind of disgusted ass mutation. Simple as that. I'll be motherfucking Roach Man or some shit. Can you imagine how fucked up to be a black person and get bit by a radioactive roach? Then
he's already designing and built.
Then you be Roach Man, nigga.
He's already designing and building technology.
And you can't even take yourself out. I don't recommend to suggest taking yourself out. But you couldn't anyway because you Roach Man. And you know Roach is hard as fuck to kill. I don't know, man. If you can get past the grossness of being a Roach Man, roaches, if Peter Parker got bit by a radioactive roach and a spider, he would have been powerful as fuck. He would have been able to climb walls still. He would have been fast as fuck. Strong as fuck, because roaches are strong as fuck proportionally. I seen roaches doing shit like ants, dragging something way bigger than them. And you'll be durable as fuck. So even though we don't like roaches, Roach Man wouldn't be no bitch.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
So, you know, you can sleep on Roach Man if you want to. Fuck around, be the last thing you do. You're gonna learn that day. Okay. I see something that might give us a little hope. I think I did. Maybe you can't do it, man. Maybe.
Hello there. We've just made the world's first retractable
Maybe I answer this question. Maybe we can't create our powers through tech. Maybe that's why I'm struggling so hard. I came up here optimistic. I'm not feeling too optimistic anymore. Let me see. Climbing walls like Spider-Man. Seems cool. Could be extremely dangerous. Let's see how they pull it off.
Oh my God!
All right, I ran out of patience. On the ruse!
If they just using magnets or suction cups, that's gonna suck because suction cups can't stick to everything and anything, and magnets can't either.
Nice job, kid.
Oh, thanks. I mean, I could have stuck landing a bit better, but you know, new suit. Wait, Mrs. Stark, it's perfect. It's perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, we don't really need to start a conversation.
Okay.
Kitchener, Ontario.
the tech center of Canada. Man, it's a rough place, but it's home.
Who are you talking to?
Oh, it's just, I'm making a film.
You know you can't show it to anyone.
Yeah, I know.
Then why are you narrating in that voice?
It's just for fun.
Fine.
So why do they call you Happy? You've got this, Peter! You've got this! You've got this!
What the hell are you wearing?
It's my suit.
Where's the case?
Case? A minor upgrade? Whoa! Oh my gosh, this is so cool. It's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Put them on.
What? Actually?
Let's go.
They're for me? What? Happy. This is insane. This is amazing. Whoa, these are the coolest things ever. They've even got a screen. It's my logo. Wow. Oh, these are so cool. Oh my gosh, these are the coolest things
Let's go.
They're going with magnets. How cheap?
Hey guys, I'm the Hacksmith, and this is Make It Real. About 6 months ago, we made a pair of electromagnet handles so we can climb walls just like Spider-Man.
Oh my god, that's tall.
Safety systems are completely failing.
We designed the handles in 3D CAD and then 3D printed them and used the same electromagnets from our Captain America Shield project. We add some electronics to keep track of power, temperature, and time on. It even plays a Spider-Man theme song when you boot it up. The magnets run at 72 volts, which hypothetically holds up to 720 kilograms perpendicular to the surface, or around 100 kilograms parallel to the surface, as long as the metal is thick enough. They worked great, but we had a hard time finding any metal buildings. The strength of an electromagnet depends on how thick the metal is that you're attached to. For something like this, you need at least ½ an inch of metal to get that kind of strength. You can watch the whole video right here for a better explanation of how we made these. Now, unfortunately, we never actually did the big test where we climb a building. And this was because a few weeks later, I actually dislocated my shoulder testing a different project, Star-Lord's jetpack, which is a great video and you guys should totally watch it. Anyway, my shoulder's fully healed now and we're ready to do the big test. Now, in my last Spider-Man video, I touched on one of the most important traits of becoming a real-life Spider-Man, and that's being physically fit. Now, unfortunately, we can't all be genetically modified by a radioactive.
That's what I was thinking, Spivey. But it ain't looking so good for us right now. So far, I don't know how we're gonna get our abilities, because technology isn't impressing me.
Spider, but we can get close by doing lots of training. Becoming a real-life Spider-Man include gymnast strength to body weight ratios. And luckily, I've been both a gymnast and a rock climber. Plus, I can do flips just like Spider-Man. Or at least I could. This video is kind of old. This means I can do a lot of pull-ups. Or even climb a rope with no feet. But besides physical training, I also have my genetics to thank for some of my strengths. Did you know there are 3 main body types? Ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph. Now luckily, I'm a mesomorph, which is kind of the best of both worlds, and it means I have a slight advantage when working out. Gains come a bit easier to me. But that's not to say you can't become Spider-Man if you're an ectomorph or an endomorph. It just means you might have to train harder. And remember, different body types have different advantages and disadvantages. But what else can my genetics tell about me? That's why I'm super excited to announce this video has actually been sponsored by 23andMe, a company that helps you understand your own. Get it? I'll lock myself out before. That helps you understand it's you. And with their new grand. Now, when I was a kid, I used to love poking around my grandpa's workshop. You see, he's actually a clock.
These just fancy magnets that you better have a whole lot of upper body strength to stick to the few metal buildings that's in your city. So far, they looking good for technology. I don't think we're gonna get our superpowers. I don't think powers can be created through tech so far. These same guys who is working on a power armor suit, we watched that the other day. It came out pretty well. So since we can't get superpowers through tech, as I'm looking and researching, trying to find a way for us to get our fucking powers, I saw something that seemed really strange. And I don't know what they talking about. I don't know what angle they finna go with it. But the video is titled, Every Disease. Every disease that gives you superpowers in 6 minutes. I don't know if this is real. I don't know if this is modern day medicine science. We about to find out together, but it says every disease that gives you superpowers. I didn't even know it was in the diseases that can give you superpowers. I love to see how they explain it. It sucks. It's the only way we can get a superpower is to get a damn disease. Let's see if these superpowers that you get from these disease are even worth the disease. And we need to know how bad the disease is too. Let's go. I didn't know this was a thing though.
Polymyalgia is a rare genetic mutation that causes a person to be born with more than the usual limbs, even though in most cases, the extra ones are deformed, shrunk, or completely useless. However, this wasn't the case for Deepak Paswan in India. He was born with 4 completely functional arms and 4 completely functional legs, which caused pilgrims to come to him from all over India and worship him, as Hindu religions often depict deities as having multiple limbs. Eventually, though, scientists figured out that the extra limbs came from a parasitic twin that hadn't developed in the womb and somehow fused with him. The extra limbs also weren't fully controlled by him, as they randomly moved, so they just decided to remove them, enabling him to live a normal life. Myostatin-related muscle hypertrophy. This disease gives super strength, as affected people have over twice the usual muscle mass of the average human. It's caused by a mutation of the MSTN gene, which is usually responsible for limiting muscle growth, but in this disease, it doesn't properly work. A famous example of this disease is Liam Hoekstra, who's been jacked since he was a kid and could do a pull-up at 8 months old, had a six-pack at 3 years old, and could lift 3-kilogram dumbbells with his arm fully extended at just 3 years old. It's one of the only diseases on this list with no known medical complication. Hyperthymetic.
Well, shit. You want to know something? I think we all known some niggas with this condition. I remember being in middle school, like the 6th grade. It was this one kid, and he wasn't on a football team, wasn't nothing. This nigga was chiseled, strangely chiseled buff. And nobody never knew why, like how this nigga get so chiseled, steroid buff in middle school. Maybe he had this condition we just were talking about. And if you think back, I'm pretty sure y'all knew a motherfucker that was like, for no reason, at a very young age, had a very defined muscularity and shit. And maybe it could have been that condition, but I guess if he said, based on what he said the side effects was and no complications, I would like to think that's not a bad condition to have.
Syndrome. This disease enables people to remember huge amounts of relatively random information, basically giving them super memory. However, there's a catch. They can't choose what they remember, so they might remember what they ate on a random day, but they might forget what they studied for their next exam. Matter of fact, some say that hyperthymetic individuals appear to have poorer than average memory when they actually actively try to remember something. They describe their memories as uncontrollable associations. For example, when they see a date, they see a vivid depiction of that day in their heads without hesitation or conscious effort. Unfortunately, this disease can make it difficult to sustain long-term relationships and can cause loneliness. People with hyperthymesia also have difficulties letting go of difficult events or traumatic memories, which can stay with them for life. Fortunately, though, it is extraordinarily rare, with fewer than 100 people in the world having been diagnosed with it. Stone Man syndrome. Also known as fibrodysplasia ossificans progressiva, this disease allows people to regenerate damaged body parts with bones instead of the original damaged part. For example, if a person with this disease injured his biceps instead of new muscle tissue, he would grow bone tissue. It is the only known medical condition where one organ system changes.
That's insane. This is really a fucking thing?
We can't make this shit up. We can't make this shit up.
Yo, we be learning something new every time. I ain't never heard of no shit like this. That's why I do this shit. Yeah, I don't care. I'm glad I do this shit. One person watching, whatever, don't matter, by myself. I love learning new shit. There's so much shit in this fucking world, so much information. And you could just stumble across weird, random shit like this. And I feel like it makes everything else worth it. For real, just to learn some random shit. Well, before we get back to the random shit.
What's up, nieces and nephews? Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share.
If you want to support, hit up my Cash App at $UncBeStreaming. Any donation will be greatly appreciated. Thanks in advance.
Give a nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. How much more can I take? Give a nigga a break.
Let's get back to this interesting condition. See what's going on.
Into another, and it ultimately leaves sufferers immobilized as new bone replaces musculature and fuses with the existing skeleton, which is why it's called Stone Man syndrome. Unfortunately, this disease is almost always deadly. The superficial bones aren't even removable, as if they're cut more will appear when it regenerates. Savant syndrome. This disorder, which is sometimes paired with autism and Asperger's, makes the patient extremely talented at a variety of tasks, such as calculations, drawing, painting, cartography, and much more. As an example of how incredible this might get, Stephen Wiltshire, a man who was diagnosed with savant syndrome, was able to draw a precise map of London after flying over it just once. However, people with savant syndrome are usually really good at one specific task, but lack social skills. Congenital insensitivity to pain. An estimated one...
Fuck a motherfucking social skill.
Oh my God! Wow!
I'll take that ability. I'll take that condition for sure. Fuck it. Because after a while, I realized, and I have decent social skills, sometimes above average. Sometimes good social skills, depending on how, what you got going on. But I realized as I got older in life that I really don't fucking like people anyway.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
Now, don't get me wrong. There are people I like, but overall, I just don't like people like that. So, something where one of the side effects is bad social skills that can give me the possibilities that having that kind of memory or whatever ability shit, I'll take it.
In every 25,000 people suffers from this genetic condition, which completely shuts off the pain signaling pathways, as patients have a mutation of this gene, which is supposed to develop pain-sensing nerve cells. People with it usually can't know or understand what pain feels like or really is, even though they can feel emotional pain or touch. Even though this might seem amazing, it's important to note that pain...
They got a movie based on this concept, the movie called Novocaine. The main character, for whatever reason, he got this condition where he just can't feel pain. So he got to be really careful if he like putting his hand on a hot stove. She's just cooking and he don't even notice it till he smells something. People can be like, bro, you got a knife in your leg. You know, You know, shit like that. So yeah, not feeling pain don't stop you from getting fucked up. It can be a part of it could definitely be, let's say you had this condition, right? And you didn't tell nobody, and you decide to be a boxer. You're still gonna need some skill, and you still can get knocked the fuck out, and you still can get dazed, but it might give you an edge to be a champion based on how much you train. You know, you're still gonna have to get your train on. But if you're a trained person and the other person a trained person, and y'all equally trained, but you can't feel pain, you might get it'll allow you to be more aggressive to a degree, unless you get knocked the fuck out by being too aggressive. And you know, that's a whole nother situation.
Pain is one of the most important survival tools, and people with this condition usually die in their childhood as they injure themselves without knowing it. For some reason, there's a village in Sweden called Vittangi, which has an out-of-the-order amount of people suffering from this disease. Tetrachromacy. If you tried to imagine a new color, you wouldn't be able to. Your brain would just glitch. People with tetrachromacy, however, don't have to imagine new colors because they actually see them. Humans' eyes have 3 types of cone cells, which enable us to see a part of the light spectrum, while some other animals, especially birds, fishes, and reptiles, have 4. This means that the organism may see wavelengths beyond those of a typical human's vision, and may be able to distinguish between colors that, to a normal human, appear to be identical. In humans, tetrachromacy is extremely rare, to the point that some don't even believe it exists. But there was one account where a woman was found to have an additional cone type, which was a sort of intermediate between M and L, trichodento-osseous syndrome. This disease, which affects only a couple thousand people worldwide, basically gives people indestructible and super dense bones, so much so that they've reportedly been able to break baseball bats and withstand car crashes. This happens because they have a mutation in the DLX3 gene, which works on.
So you get some adamantium bones, some adamantium, some Wolverine bones. Don't, so far so good. Don't sound bad. What's the catch? Do them bones get brittle and painful? I mean, what's the catch? So far so good. Having some real strong bones, I can do some things with that.
Bone density. However, there are some bad drawbacks, such as having teeth that break painfully and easily, having brittle.
Oh, there you go.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
You can keep it. I don't want no tickler ass fucking teeth for the sake of having adamantium bones.
What the hell?
That's a very, very terrible catch. That catch does not work for Unc at all. As cool as it is to have a super dense, durable skeleton, if I gotta sacrifice my pearly whites for that shit, no.
No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I can't go for that. No can do. I can't go for that.
Nails and having dry, curly, and flaky hair. As a fun fact, it's being studied as a potential cure for osteoporosis, which affects the elderly by increasing their chances of breaking their bones, sometimes causing death. Hyperlexia. If a kid between the age of 2 and 4 years old is able to read everything perfectly, and he's obsessed by numbers or letters, he might have hyperlexia, which is a syndrome characterized by a child's precocious ability to read. The problem with this, however, is that it's basically fake reading, as they're able to say out loud the words on a piece of paper, but they're unable to understand what they're reading. The cause is still unknown, but it's thought that it has a certain overlap with autism, with some claiming that about 84% of hyperlexic kids suffer from autism as well. Vampire syndrome. Also known as hypohidrotic ectodermal dysplasia, it gives affected people pointed teeth and pale skin, and they're usually very thin, with eyes outlined with dark circles and with no.
This a fucking thing.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
Is this really a fucking thing? I don't know if I've seen some motherfuckers walking around like this. Maybe we gonna find out why. Or maybe the freaks only come out at night. I don't fucking know. But this condition right here might fuck around and get you some work.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum. Oh,
Say hello to my little friend.
I'm just saying, he ain't really describing the motherfucker that I want to walk up on me at the right time or the wrong time or any time.
Vampire syndrome. Also known as hypohidrotic ectodermal dysplasia, it gives affected people pointed teeth and pale skin, and they're usually very thin, with eyes outlined with dark circles and with no hair. While looking like a vampire might sound cool to some, people with this disease have to constantly check their temperature and stay away from the sun, as they don't have sweat glands that can keep their internal temperature stable when it gets hot.
Oh, wow. I mean, the human body, man, and stuff like this. Like, I ain't never heard of no shit like this. This is wild. Just the different variations and mutations and things. It might be real mutants out there, yo. It might be some real life mutants out there that we sleeping on. Technically, this guy and all the people on this list, pretty much most of them, are mutants by definition. Because even in the comic books, all the mutants don't have cool, flashy, useful powers like Colossus. You got some people whose mutation is pretty much useless in combat. If you read the books, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah.
As an example, famous actor Michael Berryman has this disorder. If you want to discuss this video or suggest an idea for the next one, join my Discord.
I remember that actor. He always playing horror movies because he's so funny looking, but he ain't never need no mask because he's so funny looking. But I remember that guy. So, you know, we just went over every disease that gives you superpowers. Right now, you see in the title, Real Life Superpowers, and can powers be created through tech? We saw some stuff that people consider somewhat to a degree real life superpowers. And of course, they did have some side effects. Some not good as others. But that was in realism land, even though the shit was wild as fuck. Let's slip over a little bit back.
I made a video a few days
to fantasy land, right? And take a look at the best superpowers to have in real life. Like I said, we first started this video, Candy said she wanted reality manipulation powers, which are really dope. She was thinking big. See, she's a big picture kind of person. I was thinking small. I said, I want teleportation powers. Or maybe mind reading powers. She went God level and said reality manipulation. So with her powers, she could technically do all the stuff. She cheated. With her power, she could do all the stuff any of us can do with our power. No, Candy, you gotta pick another power if you're still here. Omega level powers don't count. God tier powers don't count. You can't be like, well, I'll just be God. No, we need a power, a reasonable power, an everyday type power. Oh, sorry. Let's check out this guy's list of powers that's best to have in real life and see if his list matches with our list or some of the stuff I said or what people said in the chat or what power you would love to have in real life. and let's see if there's any correlation between his ideas and ours, and see where we go from there.
Days ago on the most useless superpowers to have in real life, and it did really well. But I figured it's only right to make a video on the best superpowers to have in real life as well. So let's get into it. First up is teleportation. You waste so much of your life driving.
Bam! My power. Straight to it.
Boom, bam, bop, bada bop, boom, pow.
Teleportation. By the way, this is a movie I was talking about, Jumper. Dope that he used that. That's like one of the dopest displays of teleportation powers and the coolness potential of them ever in cinema. And this movie, I ain't gonna lie, what's the reason when every time the superpower conversation come up, teleportation is one of the first ones I think about. This movie right here, Jumper.
Make a video on the best superpowers to have in real life as well. So let's get into it. First up is teleportation. You waste so much of your life driving, flying, and walking to different destinations every day. Imagine being able to instead just teleport there in an instant. You want to go to Egypt? You're there. The Bahamas? You're there. Paris? You're there. Your buddy's house?
That shit'd be so fucking fire. That shit'd be so fucking dope. Next level says invisibility. He want to be sneaking in the girls' locker room and shit.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
In the WNBA locker room, looking at long titties and tall coochies. I don't know how tall you is, but you sure you want to go in that WNBA locker room and look at some eye-level coochies? Eye-level coochies. No. But you know, it's something about that invisibility power give me creep. I can't think of no reasons to really use it. When people say they want invisibility as a power, they want to sneak around. It says a lot about them. Next level. Not saying you a perv, but I can't think of no reasons you would want invisibility power that ain't sinister or to get over on somebody or something in a fucked up way.
With a hot mom? You're there. Just imagine you're using the bathroom at school. You don't want to go back to geometry class because fuck geometry class. Now you're back at your house to grab a snack. Or maybe you went somewhere cooler like the beach or something. I don't know. You can do whatever you want, whenever you want. Not to mention you're pulling every bitch on this planet that you want. No girl's denying someone who can teleport them to a beach in an instant. You can't lose. Teleportation can solve like 90.
Teleportation power, you have all the travel bays. Like, hey girl, what's up? Trying to go to Japan tonight? No, I got work on Monday. It'll take us that long just to fly there. Bitch, come here. Poof, pow, we in Japan. What?
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
Just like that.
%99% of your problems in life. You're broke? Robbed a bank. You're hungry? Went to New York for a slice. You're lonely? You're at one of your girlfriend's house because you got 30 of them. And this is just scratching the surface. If you guys want me to make a video dedicated just on teleportation.
Teleportation powers, you can be a real life international. I went to space. I'm teleporting to space. I'm really trying to get up out of here. You can be a real life international player. With teleportation powers, you have one in Germany, one in Italy, one in the UK, one in all the African countries. Matter of fact, you can have women in every country on the whole continent of Africa if you want it. and just teleport. Of course, that'll be hard to manage. But my point is that you can have 15, 20 girlfriends, or you can have 5 or 6 girlfriends, but all in different countries. And they'll never run across each other because you teleporting. You can tell you going to work, but you really teleport to another country because it's a different time zone.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
And how you get money? If you ain't got enough imagination to get money with teleporting powers, I feel sorry for you. But next level says, will Anton teleport co-host to the D? Yes, he will. He'll be like, you trying to come down to the D? Poof, poof. Next thing you know, they in the D. The dirty D. I call him on Triple D. Dirty Dick Daniels. Come down to the D and get dirty with him. But no, man. I teleport all my baddies first class.
Then let me know in the comments. Next up is ice powers. This power is OD. I also turned that whole town into a blizzard like it was nothing. Made a damn ice castle and made a talking snowman. Who the fuck doesn't want a talking snowman? I'm sorry, but if I got ice powers like that, summer's never coming around again. Summer's for the birds.
Miss me with the ice powers. I don't want a fucking talking snowman. You creepy looking fuck. Maybe I grew up watching that movie Jack Frost too much, and talking snowmans always seem sinister to me. I don't like the cold like that, but if I was a snow nigga with snow powers, it probably wouldn't bother me. Since I got snow powers, I probably would want to make the whole world cold because it'd make it better for me. But I'd probably kill off a lot of people too. That'd be kind of fucked up. But I don't really feel this one. What y'all think? Ice powers? Not my favorite element.
I'm having my whole town looking like Narnia before the Queen lost. Nothing's worse than waking up on Christmas Day, looking outside and seeing the sun's out or it's raining. You'll never have that problem with ice powers. All December can be a blizzard. Let's say you take your talents to the government. You offer to get rid of global warming in exchange for $1 billion. Bam, you're rich, as long as they don't take you and experiment on you. Now let's say you're out at the bar. You're dressed up real nice because you're rich now. A couple hooligans come up and try to snatch your chain and watch. Turn them into a couple of snow cones. Next up is shapeshifting. We're just going to assume you can shapeshift.
Did this nigga really just do that? Did this nigga really just do that? You know, old ass Unc. I ain't gonna just let that ride. You know, Unc old ass ain't finna just let that ride.
Watch. Turn them into a couple of snow cones. Next, turn and watch. Dressed up real nice because you're rich now. A couple hooligans come up and try to snatch your chain and watch. Turn them into a couple of snow cones. Next up is shapeshifting. We're just going to assume you can shapeshift into other humans and not animals. There's actually a lot of benefits from this power. You can shapeshift into a famous celebrity and charge people to take pictures and get autographs. You can
I hate for some of the niggas in this sector to have this power. Weird ass niggas on gay stuff. Listen, it'll get real weird. This is a scary power to have. It's some really sick people out here, some really weird people. And this is a scary power. I wouldn't want it because it's too much sneaking, creeping, and deceiving involved with it. I just get my teleportation and call it a day. But I can see some sociopaths and some psychopaths and just some freaks really causing massive havoc with this kind of power.
Emotional damage.
I'm talking fucking people's whole life up. You got niggas to turn into Beyonce to knock out Jay-Z so he can then turn back to Jay-Z so they can smash Beyonce. You got niggas to do shit like that.
No.
And to make it worse, you got niggas that are turning to Beyonce so they can smash Jay-Z. Ain't nobody got time for the shape-shifting powers, yo. What's going on, A-Dub?
You get your bum-ass geometry teacher that you don't like, we're just gonna assume you can shapeshift into other humans and not animals. There's actually a lot of benefits from this power. You can shapeshift into a famous celebrity and charge people to take pictures and get autographs. You could get your bum-ass geometry teacher that you don't like fired by turning into them and doing dumb shit like getting naked in public or assaulting someone. Fuck geometry. Go to a concert and shapeshift into the singer. Take the stage before the singer does and see what happens. Sneak into the White House as the president. Are these morally correct? No. Are they cool ideas though? Yeah. You could probably shapeshift into the president and just get all your food for free. The possibilities are really endless for this power. Last up here is regenerative healing factor. This is pretty self-explanatory. You can heal from almost anything. Don't have to worry about being shot, stabbed, beat up, falling from a height, car crash. You're good. Really nothing can take you down. Plus, it makes for a cool party trick. You can stab yourself in the hand and show everyone how quickly it heals. You don't really age past a certain point. You're kind of like Deadpool.
What I like about this power is that shit still hurt.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
Them niggas still feel all that shit. Yeah, they might heal, but that shit still hurt.
And it's his skill set and messed up skin. The only downside is that you'll outlive everyone you love, but hey, I'll take it. It could be worse. Plus, it's not like you'll live forever. Eventually the sun will swallow the earth, or a meteor will put us down, or Earth could fall out of the sun's orbit and you'll freeze to death. One of those should do the trick to put you down. So you can just enjoy life until then. If you enjoyed this video, then please like and subscribe as it really helps me out.
That was interesting. That was entertaining. That was funny. But that was just a little break into La La Land as we pursue this quest to find out about real life superpowers, which we did run across some of those, and more importantly, can technology recreate superpowers? So far, it's not looking
Thanks to the Marvel Cinematic
too good. So far, I don't feel great hope at all of ever get my superpowers, man. That's so hard, man. I mean, we've seen some little stuff, but you would think in this day and age, Maybe this guy got something for us. I may have to look at these videos and scan them real quick. Make sure it's not fake videos. A lot of times you got to make sure the title's not misleading, because I'm out here really trying to find information. I'm trying to find some real shit. I'm trying to find somebody that actually put in the work to at least attempt to answer the question that they might have had in their title. Like, stop making shit up, right? Fuck it. This video said gadgets that give you superpowers. It looks real damn stupid. But at this point, I'm fucking desperate. But 9mm says, so you want to be the villain like Kane? I'll take what I can get at this point. I just want my fucking powers, man. Next level says the government has so much they kept secret. They had 5G long before. Oh, that's, yeah. All the cool shit we get, they got a better version of it. Think of all the technology you got now. And I like to tell people, take what you got now in your hand as technology or whatever you got access to, add 10 to 20 years of development to it. And that's where the government at with that same technology. We're going to give another video a shot. If it ain't talking about no useful powers, we're going to hop out of there real quick, because I ain't got time to play today.
While we may never have the natural ability to fly, possess super speed, or x-ray vision, we've all dreamt of being a superhero, but the real world lacks real superpowers. But while we may never have the natural ability to fly, possess super speed, or x-ray vision, there are some incredible devices that can give you these feats, and you won't even need to change into a costume. So strap in as we take a look at some awesome gadgets that give you superpowers. Real life Rocket Man. Which superpower do you want the most? For me, it's the power of flight. But without wings, will I ever be able to glide through the sky like a bird or a plane or Superman? Well, Swiss-born aviator Yves Rossi invented a jet-powered wing.
Yo, why this dude talking like this? That nigga voice got me fucking.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make
Just look, after I said something about it, y'all might notice it now, but listen to how this guy talk. It's extra as fuck. It's kind of funny.
Pack that can turn you into Superman in an instant. No need for the red underpants. This personal project uses 4 small P400 jet engines and wings made of carbon fiber, the material usually used to build commercial aircraft, which cost an eye-watering $190,000 to design and create. The flight control system is super responsive, so much so that the flyer must control their head, arm, and leg movements to prevent dropping into a tailspin. Using the jet wing, Rossi was able to fly at a speed of 190 miles per hour and stay airborne at more than 6,500 feet. Unfortunately, the small engines only hold fuel enough to last for 6 to 10 minutes of flight time. But that's more than enough for him to reach cruising altitudes alongside planes and birds. But if traveling on a hair trigger system at hundreds of miles an hour, thousands of feet from the ground sounds too scary to you, maybe you should start off with the hydrojets. This invention allows you to soar safely some 50 feet above the water, and you won't have to worry about running low on fuel. That's because the hose at the back of the blades connects to a high-power pump which uses the water itself as a high-density propulsion fluid to keep you up in the air. Some, like Jetly, have the pilot control their movement by positioning the hose ends on wings, which the pilot can then steer. Others, like Jetblade, have the hoses fixed to a skateboard-like design, meaning the pilots control their movements with their legs and feet. All up, these hydrojets cost around $6,000.
That's a cool little gadget, but you know, even the little jet thing was more close to the Superpowers, even though it's very inefficient in its design. This right here is just some play shit. It don't have any remotely or practical use. Of course, it looks fun as fuck. You know why it looked fun? Because it looked like white people shit. And I ain't saying black people don't do fun shit, but I think we come to the realization earlier that a lot of shit that white people do that we like to call white people shit, if you actually gave it a try, you might have the time of your life. And this is just telling y'all people to, you know, live a little bit and diversify your portfolio on your adventures and activities. If we can't learn about superpowers, we're gonna learn something tonight.
Dollars and naturally come with a safety warning. Falling from 50 feet into water can still hurt, but if you're ready to take the risk, you'll never want to come down again. Fashion never dies. Has it ever bothered you that James Bond never wears a bulletproof vest? For a man who gets shot at a lot, you'd think he'd never be without his Kevlar. But I guess he can't risk his trademark suit looking lumpy, unless he's secretly bulletproof himself. Well, company Garrison Bespoke has created the perfect solution. A suit that can completely stop bullets without the bulk of Kevlar. How does this work? Well, the suit is made from carbon nanotubes, which remain flexible until they're hit with a sudden impact, at which point they're instantly hard. These nanotubes are built into the lining of the suit itself, forming a weave so strong and resistant they can blunt the edges of knives. In fact, they have to be cut open with a bandsaw to break apart. Now, where Kevlar tends to be heavy, with vests ending around 3 to 7.
I never believe in these little suits. Cause let's say it stops the bullet from penetrating, right? Does it stop the force? Let's say you got one of those suits on, right? And you get shot in the chest. If all your fucking ribs gonna get caved in, it's cool the bullet didn't enter your skin, but you still might get deleted or be pretty fucked up, right? Oh my God. And I'm glad they showed that, because it's gonna segue into the next video where the guys who watched last night said they made a John Wick suit. Now, John Wick's not a superhero, but he might as well be, because he could take out some superheroes, I think, if it really got down to it. But in the movie, if you remember, John Wick's suit was bulletproof, and these guys said they made a John Wick suit was bulletproof. And we're gonna check out the process, look into it, and see if that shit worked, because that's cool as fuck. But at the same time, maybe we should learn some stuff in their test about, like, why, if they got bulletproof suits, why don't the military people have bulletproof uniforms?
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
I understand kind of why every soldier don't have it, because they probably cost a lot to produce. But what's the price of a fucking life, you know, or whatever? But if they, and it makes me think, so if regular soldiers don't have them, maybe like the special teams have them, but they be getting deleted sometimes too, and still wear the regular armor. So like, because I've been hearing about bulletproof suits and bulletproof clothing for quite a long time, but I don't know a lot about it. Because if I was to be a superhero, since it's hard to get powers, I would probably have to figure out a way to go the tech route and get my Batman on, or maybe my Iron Man on. But regardless, you're gonna need some kind of clothing, even in even if you armor plated, in the points where your joints gotta move, you might need regular clothing or fabric there. But you don't want that shit to be easy to penetrate. So if I would design a superhero suit, right? I mean, like I said, I don't know about the tech, but I would take the bulletproof fabric as an undergarment, or like the jumpsuit on my costume. Then I would take the stuff we saw last night, the different armors they were testing, and take the most durable but heavier one and put it over my chest area, on my back, key areas like that. And then I would take the lighter ones and put it on my limbs and stuff. They're not as durable, but they're a lot lighter because you can't have the heavy stuff for your whole body, but you want to protect your middle part with the best shit. And of course, my headgear will be the most sturdy metal. Well, parts of it at least the parts around my skull. But that's how I would design it. But I'm just interested in finding out how bulletproof fabric works. So we're gonna watch the rest of this because it's about all kinds of other stuff, but we gotta circle back around to that.
7 pounds of extra weight, the suit is 50% lighter and covers more of the body, making it much easier to move in and more effective. It's a literal lifesaver for clients who work in espionage or are traveling to dangerous places. But at $20,000, it's a pretty pricey suit. Still, small price to pay for becoming bulletproof from the neck down.
See, they got that guy just getting shot in the chest and he's just bouncing off. I don't think that's how those suits work.
Cyber Sight. In sci-fi films, cyborgs seem to have it all, the power of a machine without the frailty or weakness of the human body. It's a super futuristic concept, but bionics exist now. Artificial inventions that biologically mimic human functions like limbs and organs, and even eyes. Companies Second Sight have used this advance in technology to create a bionic eye, an implant and eyewear combo able to give those who are visually impaired their sight back. The glasses contain a digital camera which captures the wearer's surroundings. This visual information is transmitted to an image processor, then sent back to the glasses, which are then wirelessly transmitted to the bionic implant, allowing users to visually process what they're seeing. 23% of those who tested the device had marked improvements in their abilities to see, and while it costs an eye-watering $150,000, it's a priceless piece of tech. What's more heroic than curing blindness? As you can see, these glasses are plain black, but I think they could be jazzed up to look even cooler. These LED glasses can switch between 7 different colors and will make you look like you've come from the future. This guy already does. He turned his eye into its own flashlight. Brian Stanley unfortunately lost his eye to cancer, but found another way to see in the dark. He engineered a prosthetic to act as his very own titanium cyborg eye, and he eventually developed multiple versions with different colors and designs. The LED inside has an impressive 20-hour battery life and doesn't get hot, making it safe for his socket. The light moves with the motions of the eye and appears to be activated via a proximity sensor, allowing him to simply wave his hand in front of the eye to turn it on and off. That's incredibly practical, and it looks rad as heck. Flying without wings. Ever since back...
That's actually pretty cool. You know, he had a tragedy, lost his eye to cancer. Found a way to, you know what they say, life give you lemons, you make lemon juice. He found a way to, you know, actually make some pretty cool, badass shit. Definitely a good conversation starter. Definitely an amazing party trick, too.
We can't make this shit up. We can't make this shit up.
It's dope. Take your lemons and make your lemonade, yo.
To the Future came out, everybody's been dreaming about the day they could own a hoverboard or a flying car. Well, HoverSurf is about to make that dream a reality because they actually make hover bikes. With 4 whirling blades instead of wheels, the Scorpion 3 hover bike isn't designed to travel across roads, but over them. The pilot steers the vehicle by 2 joystick controllers, and with a single-frame carbon fiber body, the entire weight of this thing reaches just 253 pounds, making it easy to maneuver when it's up in the air. The 3-bladed carbon propellers give the entire vehicle a monumental 800 pounds of thrust, allowing it to achieve liftoff quickly. But as cool as it looks, there are a few drawbacks. For an eye-watering $150,000, this bike can only fly for 10 to 25 minutes with a pilot on board, or just 40 minutes as a remote-controlled drone. Still, that's 10 to 25 minutes of pretending to be Superman I wouldn't get otherwise.
I was about to say, those things are nothing but big drones. Like, hoverboard technology blows. It ain't no anti-gravity stuff yet. Until it's some anti-gravity shit, they can keep all these, you know, big drones or super fans, and they all loud and they pushing all that wind down beneath them. And yeah, it's just a big ass hoverboard. It's just a big fan. It's and they've been working on this shit for the longest, and that's all they got. Quite disappointing. I want my fucking hoverboard. Anti-gravity, bitch. Figure it out.
Take my money. Thermophone. Night vision is a superpower I've always wanted, if only to stop walking into the door when I get up at night to use the bathroom. If you, like me, want night vision, then the closest you'll probably get is the Seek Thermal Camera. This nifty little gadget can give you the ability of night vision by utilizing thermal imaging, also known as heat vision. How? Well, when the camera, which contains a thermal sensor, is fixed via the charging port on your phone and connected to a downloadable app, the readings it picks up are matched to the camera view, showing you where heat is being detected in the scene before you. And as long as your phone's charged, it will never not work, as the Seek Thermal Camera's batteries are engineered to run off your phone's battery, so it never requires charging itself. More thermal imaging modes can be used for different purposes, such as temperature testing and examining the insides of objects. These objects will reveal themselves via their heat signatures, and you can measure temperatures from negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit to 626 degrees Fahrenheit. That's as cold as the Arctic North Pole to the smoky heat of a barbecue, all at a distance of up to 2,400 feet away, even in the pitch black. Now I'll never be left in the dark again. Magic Mike. People often talk about the ability to sense danger, but what's even more impressive is being able to literally hear it coming. Introducing the Molar Mic by Sonitus Technologies, so called because it turns your own teeth into a walkie-talkie. Don't believe me? Well, this tiny two-way mic clips onto your back teeth and allows you to hear incoming conversations as clear as day, even with noise in the background. At a heavy metal concert, inside a helicopter, taking a dip underwater? Yep, there's no interruptions messing with this message. It uses your own body to block any outside interference when speaking and receiving communication signals, creating a new auditory pathway through your teeth and jawbone.
I ain't trying to talk to a motherfucker hearing all they inside mouth noises. Oh my God. That shit don't sound remotely appealing.
Sound travels to your inner ear precisely through the bone conduction of your skull. In fact, it's so clear it apparently sounds like it's coming from inside your head. And to think I've always been told not to listen to the little voices in my head. Because of its closed connection and secret hiding, the Molar Mic is super discreet and would prove very useful in undercover activities where you need to be as stealthy as you are strategic. You just need to make sure you reply to the messages you're receiving as discreetly. There's nothing that draws attention to you quite like loudly talking to yourself. Trust me. From screen to skin. If you're like me, you put your phone down and then instantly lose it. No matter where I think it is, it's always somewhere else. But what if you had the power to never lose your phone ever again? How? Well, you can arm yourself with the Secret Bracelet, a wristband that puts your smartphone display on your own skin. Fully interactive, you're able to touch, swipe, and push the buttons the exact same way you would on your phone, all without the fear of ever putting it down and losing it. The concept came from employees from tech companies like Apple and Dell who had the idea to use a fitness tracker style wristband with a small projector inside it, able to cast an interactive screen display. The product itself has its own 32GB built-in storage and will vibrate when you get alerts and messages. Originally, this genius invention was projected to be about 300.
Okay, that's actually kind of fucking cool. I'm a gadget man, okay? I'm not gonna lie. I'm a gadget type dude. My wife get irritated by me, but she don't say nothing because she can't say nothing because she can't do nothing about it because I'm gonna buy what I want to buy and do what I want to do. But she do smirk at me and tease me sometimes because of my need to buy random ass gadgets, sometimes often expensive, that I never or rarely use. And this looks like something I can get. Let's see how much it costs.
Tech companies like Apple and Dell, who had the idea to use a fitness tracker style wristband with a small projector inside it, able to cast an interactive screen display. The product itself has its own 32GB built-in storage and will vibrate when you get alerts and messages. Originally, this genius invention was projected to be about $300, but now it's listed as $30. That's either the deal of the century or something is really not right here. Let's look at this bracelet closer. See the lack of shadows here? No refraction of light? Yeah, that's not a projection. That screen has been added into this footage in post. I knew this product was too good to be true. What could have been a bestseller of a device unfortunately turned into a cheap internet scam. This is actually the furthest they ever got to making it a reality. Yeah, not the fully functional.
What the hell?
It was too good to be true, people. Too good to be true.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
I would have bought one. Of course, they wouldn't have scammed me because I would have did my research first. Because before I do buy the tech, I buy a bunch of random tech shit that I don't use, but it be functional tech. I just don't use it because I be on to the next shit, yo. I ain't gonna cap.
Phone we were hoping for. Maybe in a few years somebody will pick this idea back up. Until then, I wait. Hang on. Where did I put my phone? I just put it down, I swear. Oh, gosh, not again. AI assistant. It's not just phones I lose, but the TV remote control too. Nothing worse than knowing your favorite program is about to start, but you can't find the remote. Yeah, I give up. But what if controlling machines was made easier by just thinking the commands? Imagine sitting in front of your TV and thinking, power on, up, down, left, right, and it would obey. Well, the alter ego is a wearable device that actually allows humans to converse with machines without physically speaking or touching anything. All you'd have to do is silently talk to yourself. This triggers a series of neuromuscular signals and subtle internal movements which are captured by the alter ego, translated into the commands that correspond to that neuromuscular pattern, and transmit to the device. What's more, the alter ego can work independently. Say if you're shopping and need to do some quick math to add your items up, all you'd need to do is silently say the prices and the alter ego would give you the total. Hearing this voice is achieved much the same way as the molar mic, through bone conduction, making the conversation closed loop. But don't worry, it can't read your every thought, only the intentional ones. How, you ask? The headset reads signals from your facial and vocal cord muscles when you speak silently to yourself, identifying the difference between deliberate inputs like questions and generic thoughts. Its wider purpose is to help provide easier communication for people with speech disorders, but it's also integrating AI into our daily lives to help increase our cognitive abilities. Wow, looks like Siri got a promotion. The Neurocopter. Are you that person who gets in an elevator and pretends to use the Force from Star Wars to wave the doors closed? If you are, then hoo boy do I have the gadget for you. Turns out an incredible gadget called the Puzzle Box Orbit allows you to control a small round drone using only your mind. By focusing your attention on the orbit, you can make it hover in the air or command a flight path when you reach a specific mental state. Orbit's controls work through a headset device that utilizes something called electroencephalography, or to save your breath, EEG. This is how the headset allows you to move the orbit hands-free. It measures your brainwaves, so when you concentrate on making the orbit fly, the headset will pick up this activity and translate it roughly to meaning one of a set list of instructions and send those instructions wirelessly to the device. So the more you focus, the better the orbit's flight will be. Lose concentration and it will fall back into your hand. This isn't just advertised as an awesome Christmas gift. Although if I found one of these in my stocking, I'd never stop playing with it. It's also used to help focus the mind, leading you into a meditative state. How very Jedi of it. Now if Puzzlebox come up with a realistic lightsaber gadget, I can finally be the real-life Luke Skywalker. A true transformer. Now superheroes don't all rely on superpowers alone. Some like Voltron or the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers use big badass looking rideable robotic machines called mechs. These tend to have a distinctly human anatomy, just made of metal and much bigger and stronger. If only they existed in real life. Well, this huge hunk of metal is Kuratas, a user-operated rideable mech built by Japanese company Tsudobashi Heavy Industry. It was unveiled as the world's first giant boarding.
That's the one we watched for the other night. He had a different arm, though. You know, he had got that power punch arm, and he dropped that one robot on the first round, but then got his ass handed to him like I told JM he would in his second fight.
Oh my God!
But that's that guy.
Robot in 2012. As you can see, it's a beast of a machine weighing in at 5 tons and measuring in at a gigantic 13 feet tall. Controlled remotely through touchscreen 3G or manually through a panel interface, this robot has some amazing features. It can recognize and lock onto an enemy just through facial recognition while using your own facial expressions to activate its weapons arsenal. Seriously, you can shoot 6,000 rounds per minute BB cannons just by smiling. It also includes a launcher which can blast fireworks, and its 30-joint frame can drive it forward and backwards at 6 miles per hour. Although it's just an awesome art piece, fans of the robot were able to buy their own Curitas mechanisms for a whopping $1 million. Some would say that's pretty pricey, but for the opportunity to play out my real-life Power Rangers fantasy, I'd say it's priceless. Sweet dreams. We all have that one nightmare that wakes us up in a cold sweat. Man, I'd do anything to avoid the haunting image of my Aunt Mildred in her bikini again. Ugh. But what if I told you you can actually control your dreams? At least you can with Halo by Prophetic, an ingenious headband that helps you sleep through the night without these nightmares plaguing you. But get this, it doesn't just give you sweet dreams in place of the bad ones, it lets you choose your own. The Halo does this by emitting high-frequency sound.
Y'all think that shit work? If this shit work, I'll get one ASAP. But if this shit worked, we would have been heard about it before now. I got the feeling just like he hyped us about the phone on the arm thing, he's hyping this up too. Sounds too good to be true. You're not going to get me again, buddy. You're not going to get my hopes up.
Waves that travel to your brain through non-invasive ultrasound. In theory, the Halo stimulates your neural pathways using this connection, activating the regions in your brain responsible for lucid dreams. These are the type of dreams that you're subconsciously aware of even while you sleep, letting you control the characters, storyline, and surroundings in your make-believe worlds. MRI data and EEG sensors allow the Halo to scan the signals in your brain, keeping track of the changes in sleep state. This data can even be tracked with an accompanying app monitoring the quality of your sleep. This visionary product is currently in development, having already crowdfunded $1 million, with Prophetic claiming it will start shipping the Halos in 2025. For a $100 deposit, you can currently reserve one for yourself, and if it proves to be successful, then
It's 2026, and I still haven't heard of this product. I don't know when this video came out, why they said we was this video is a year ago. And yeah, where they at? It's probably a year going on 2 years. They probably don't break it down by the date. I don't know. It's 2026. I want my Halo.
this will literally be the stuff of dreams. Running up that battlefield. If you've ever wanted to feel like the Flash, You know, the superhero in the red spandex who's a fan of lightning bolts and being really fast, then this next gadget is the one for you. Originally developed by DARPA, a U.S. military program which funds research projects, its purpose was to enhance soldiers' speeds on the battlefield. Now, you'd think wearing an 11-pound jetpack would slow you down rather than pick up your pace, but engineers from Arizona State University have reduced the amount of force it produces, meaning that it doesn't put out enough propulsive force to make the wearer fly. Instead, it can be triggered to boost their movement speed and provides immediate thrust to quickly drive the wearer forward. But how do they know for sure that the force it produces counteracts the weight it adds? Because they've tested it on athletes. During tests, one training athlete managed to shave off 18 seconds from his original 1-mile run, pulling him in at 5 minutes 20 seconds. And
nigga, that ain't no superpower.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
his 200-meter sprint took only 25 seconds to complete. The world record is 19.19 seconds. With the jetpack keeping you going, you're able to conserve more energy than without it. And finally, with this...
What if you really tired or you run slow and you crank the jetpack and your legs can't keep up with the jetpack force and you pretty much dragging your goddamn kneecaps across the ground? Yeah, I'm not feeling this.
Running to catch the bus won't feel like a marathon to me. Rolling rings. If you want to move with as much speed and agility as the Flash without the jetpack aesthetic, then these circular skates will do the trick. All you have to do is lean side to side to propel the skates forward, like in longboard skating, and you're off like a shot. But unlike longboard skateboarding, you'll be able to spin 720 degrees, making a full 360 turn with both wheels.
I've been dislocating my motherfucking kneecaps trying to fuck with some shit like that. My kneecaps, my hip. Just how they was moving on it, I could see myself fucking up something. Look at these movements. These movements definitely not for 47-year-old stiff black guys.
Circular skates will do the trick. All you have to do is lean side to side to propel the skates forward, like in longboard skating, and you're off like a shot. But unlike longboard skateboarding, you'll be able to spin 720 degrees, making a full 360 turn with both wheels. Because they're lightweight, their combined smooth movement allows you to skate super fast in many unnatural ways. I mean, they all look like they're doing the sideways moonwalk. And because the 10-inch wheels are made of rubber, they can also skate as easily on short grass as they can on the sidewalk. They're also great for doing ramp tricks like a skateboard, but they look even more impressive. I don't know about you, but to start, I'd need to keep the attachable rod they come with between them so I don't fall off. I'll leave the jumps, runs, and spins to the superheroes. A game changer. Nothing makes me feel more like a superhero than playing video games. I can swing through a city or bust through a wall with the touch of a button. But what would make these games infinitely better is if I could control these powers with my own body. Something Thalmic Labs' Myo armband can help me achieve. It's designed to remotely control electronic devices including PCs, TVs, and game consoles without the need for handheld controllers or motion-activated cameras. The armband senses electrical activity in the muscles that control the movements in your hands and fingers, so when you make a gesture with your arm, this physical move is communicated through Bluetooth, which is then replicated on screen. The Myo can be used for a lot more than gaming, of course. On a wider scope, it's designed to help people with physical motor issues and arthritis to engage physically with devices, whether it's selecting songs from your phone or sliding through a PowerPoint presentation. You could even steer a drone with a simple flick of the wrist. It's also capable of pairing up with the Oculus Rift headset, making your VR experience even more immersive. And dizzying, of course. With the Myo, our gaming experiences are about to level up. Strange signs. Doctor Strange, the Marvel Avenger and superhero in his own right, has one of the coolest character designs of all time. a sentient cloak, the slickest facial hair trim you've ever seen, and those Golden Tau Mandala spells he uses to magically defend and attack his foes. Well, if you've ever been as envious of him as I have, you can actually buy these glyphs yourself. Made by Tokyo-based company Phantom, they create 3D signs that use blades lined with circular LED fans which rotate at high speeds to project an image, turning the LED displays into Doctor Strange's magical rooms. With them, you'll feel
Useless as fuck, but looks cool as hell.
Oh my God!
But that's not what we're looking for.
just as powerful as the MCU magician himself. At several $100s each, though, they're not cheap for something that doesn't actually have magical powers. But you will be the envy of all Marvel cosplayers everywhere. They'll look real enough to...
It ain't looking good, yo. I don't think we're gonna get these superpowers. We had the real life superpowers we saw were, even with though some of them had downsides, seem more interesting, more practical than the tech. We gotta let these guys finish their power armor suit. And that's when we'll have some Iron Man shit going on. Because that suit, I think we stopped at what? Making it bulletproof last time. They got another video where I think they do the legs, but that's the last video up to now. So we're just going to wait a little bit and let them get several videos in a row so we can do a part 2. Because I really want to see what happens with that. But I really want to see they'll make this John Wick suit. This bulletproof John Wick suit.
We spent the last year developing
in real life because I always been fascinated by when I first heard they had bulletproof clothing. I never really understood why it wasn't everywhere. But I think if we watch this, we're gonna find out the reason why. Outside of cost, of course. Outside of cost withstanding. We get it, the cost part. But functionality wise.
We spent the last year developing a real-life version of John Wick's bulletproof suit. And this is one of the bullets that we shot at it. Now, before we start, I want to make something absolutely clear. Nothing is bulletproof. There is no such thing as a bulletproof vest. Bullet resistant is far more appropriate. But bulletproof sounds a lot cooler, doesn't it? Now, we've all seen movies featuring bulletproof vests. FBI agents, cops, SWAT guys, they've got them all. Even Iron Man's suit is bulletproof. But nobody has a bulletproof suit and looks as good as John Wick. Like, come on, it's literally a bulletproof 3-piece suit. And with John Wick 4 coming to theaters on March 24th, let's just say I thought it would be a perfect time to enhance my wardrobe.
Tactical.
How cool would it be to make a bulletproof suit? Is it even possible? I've learned to sew things together on a sewing machine, but I wouldn't really call myself a tailor. So for this build, we've hired the best of the best, a material science engineering student with extensive experience tailoring men's suits for Hollywood. They asked not to be shown this video to keep their identity secret because of their other clients. Knock it! When we're talking about bullet-resistant garments like vests, it all comes down to layers of ultra-high-strength materials. If you think of a sheet of paper, for example, it's not very strong, but once you layer paper, it becomes much stronger. This is the basic principle of most ballistics armor. You've probably heard of Kevlar before, but not all Kevlar is created equal. In fact, the Kevlar used in bulletproof vests is highly specialized and manufactured in a very specific way. And it's not actually something you as a consumer can go out and buy. For example, this is over ½ an inch of Kevlar that we bought from McMaster Carr. And as you can see, a bullet went straight through it. Lucky for us, we were able to work directly with some of the manufacturers of these highly specialized bullet-resistant materials. And they actually sent us tens of thousands of dollars.
They gatekeeping the bullet resistant material from us civilians, y'all.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
He pretty much told us right there that we couldn't get the shit even if we could afford it. We got to be allowed to get it. Got to go through the right people, and it's a select few that can get access to. You got to like get permission to get the shit, almost like it's a controlled substance. How convenient, right?
Worth of the fabric that we needed both for testing and building of this project. We need to determine what our suit actually needs to be able to withstand. In the John Wick movies, there are a couple different suits, but for our purposes, we'll be focusing on the main classic evening black three-piece suit from John Wick 2. We see the tailor demonstrate the bullet resistance of the suit using what looks to be a P226, a classic standard issue handgun. And throughout the catacombs, we see the suit stand up to a variety of guns, most of which shoot 9mm rounds, but one that takes 45 ACP rounds, an MP5 submachine gun. So that's our goal. How do we balance bullet resistance without sacrificing the aesthetic and flexibility of a suit? Now that's the question we need to answer ourselves at the gun range. So we've got...
I know one thing he's not gonna do when you do finish this suit is stand there and let somebody shoot him with that bitch on. I bet that don't happen.
You can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up.
If you do, I'll be highly surprised. But they probably gonna put it on some kind of dummy or something, which I get for safety reasons. But you know, it'd be cool if he believed in his own shit, right?
Got 38 different samples that we're going to be testing, and I've labeled them 1 through 4. And basically all the samples in box 1 are the manufacturer recommendation for the number of layers of each material. So hypothetically, everything in this box should stop a 9mm bullet. And what we've done is we've actually reduced the number of layers, box by box by box. Because what we're trying to figure out is what is the minimum number of layers and the most flexible material that still stops a 9mm bullet. Because all these materials right now, we're testing monolithically. So it means we're just using one material. But most bulletproof armor uses composites. It uses multiple different times and different layer orientations and all that. But let's get started. I guess our stand is well, it's a good thing we're only testing one at a time. Okay, we got a fail here. As fun as that was, our very first shot revealed a very big problem. Our samples kept blowing off the wall. And the sample size of our fabric also seemed to make a huge difference in the result. We had started our tests with manufacturer recommended layering, similar to what you'd find in a commercial vest. But some of the bullets just went through. We were trying to conserve the very expensive fabric, but ended up wasting it all anyway with a bunch of data that isn't even going to help us. So we looked into the NIJ armor standards and made our new samples 15 by 15 inches, the size they recommend for testing. We also revised our test stand to hold the samples better. This time, we're only going to be using the vector, since if it stops the vector, it'll stop the P226. We've also upgraded the elastics so the samples are held a bit better, which hopefully means we'll be able to shoot it multiple times without having to mess around with the sample at all. And the reason we want to get 2 hits in is the problem is if you only shoot the sample once, it could be a fluke. So just because it stops a bullet once doesn't mean it's bulletproof. That's pretty deep inside of me. There's the bullet. It did stop it. The more pancaked the bullet, the better the armor's done. Because as you can see, this one's less pancaked, and it almost made it through. This is my favorite material. The bullet never makes it through the front layer. 60 passed, 39 passed, 43 passed. Interesting. Woven failed. It was on the seam. I don't like those odds. Oh, 58, still passed. And yes, the quilted failed. So I'm confident. Full failure at 16 layers, and 17 is pushing it. 65 pass, 44 pass. But the white materials all have massive backface deformation. If we held this super taut somehow, the bullet would probably punch right through. Energy is being absorbed as this is being taken into the foam. So it's slowing down, and that's why it stops the bullet. If I wore this with a string around my neck and you shot me, I'm dead. Pass, Pass. We've realized our testing method is flawed because this is not a pass. Once again, the data we collected wasn't very useful. We were getting passes from samples that probably should have failed. We needed a better human analog than pink foam. We decided to use oil-based clay. Again, what the NIJ standard actually recommends. Serves me right for trying to cut corners to speed up testing. Using the clay will also allow us to measure the backface deformation accurately, or the depth at which the bullet is stopped. Backface deformation is the reason you still break ribs, even when you're wearing a bulletproof vest. With this updated test procedure, we went back to the range and got our data for the monolithic testing. It's time to start testing the composites. We learned a lot from these samples, but the tricky part is putting it into a suit. How are we going to create the ultimate bullet-resistant composite? To offer the most protection, you need plate armor. This is what can stop rifle rounds. Once you drop to level 3A, now we're into soft armors. This is what most bulletproof vests are made of. But as you can see, it's still pretty thick, and it's probably not going to fit in a fine-tailored suit. So we're going to have to look at level 2 and below. These level 2 samples are recommended from the manufacturer and are quite thin. But at the range, we were able to determine some even thinner samples. The next step is taking these material swatches and making composites. Basically, our goal is to get somewhere in between our possible minimums and level 2, keeping it flexible, lightweight, and able to fit inside of a suit. Let's start making some composites.
The front layer is going to stop the bullet, and the back layer is going to help reduce backface deformation.
I was told that making armor is almost as much as an art as a science, so I don't think I need this. I'm just going to try and make it look as cool as possible. When we went to the gun range, one material in particular stood out to me, and that was the woven Kevlar. It actually stopped the bullet in the first layer. Even cooler still, it left the woven pattern on the bullet. So let's try making a few samples with this as the top layer. Which one will come out on top? I have no idea. Have you ever Googled your name and were shocked to see your personal information exposed? If you haven't, do it right now. You might be disturbed by what you find. This information is available for anyone to find, including spammers and robocallers, all thanks to data brokers. So if you don't want your personal information being exposed and sold, then let me tell you about today's video sponsor, Aura. Aura is a powerful tool that can help keep your data safe and secure. Aura works hard to identify data brokers who profit by selling your information and will automatically submit opt-out requests on your behalf. If you're still not convinced, Aura also monitors your passwords and social security number to see if they were involved in any data breaches and exposed on the dark web. If Aura finds any of this sensitive information, it will give you recommendations on how to secure it before someone attempts to steal your identity. With Aura, all adult members included in your plan are each protected by a $1 million insurance policy that covers eligible losses and fees resulting from identity theft. Aura's app also features a VPN, password manager, fraud monitoring, internet parental controls, and protects your devices from malware. Aura has almost every internet safety tool you'll ever need, all inside just one app. You can use my link, aura.com/hacksmith, to try 2 weeks for free. You won't believe how much exposed information you'll find in those 2 weeks. Let Aura keep you safe. To set the baseline for our new testing method, we're using a level 3A vest that we've taken apart and put on top of the clay. So let's see how it does. So it should have stopped the bullets, and it does look like it did. Note to self, got to aim higher. I was really close to the wood. Looks like maybe 10, 15 millimeter backface deformation. Success is 44 millimeters or less. This one almost looks like it did go through, but I don't see a bullet there. I would say that's a successful test. So when we actually measure the backface deformation, you're gonna have to pick a reference point, because look how much it bulges out from there.
Stopped them all though.
It might even be under 44 millimeters. Well, I hope this stopped it. In our previous test, it stopped it. Looks like there was a problem with our past tests. Once again, 25% success rate. Passed last time with 2 shots. Well, 25% success rate, 2 shots. Math doesn't check out. I mean, it does check out. We just had great luck last time. Learning lots. Doesn't look too bad. I might just be on the edge of level 2. Turns out stopping bullets is not easy. Who would have thought?
my arts and crafts, I don't think held up that well. We also definitely learned that there's a lot of variability in the bullets we're using. If they're packed with just a little more or a little less gunpowder, it makes a huge difference. There is a lot that goes into making bulletproof armor, and we're just scratching the surface. While we continue gathering data at the range, our tailor will start building the pants. We're not gonna make those bulletproof, but we are making them both abrasion and stab resistant. We did some quick tests with different materials, and we found something perfect for protecting my legs. I also got fitted for a custom shirt at Jeff Allpaw Custom, where we studied movie stills to make sure we got it just right. They also had this awesome Hacksmith silk liner made for us. Pretty dapper if I do say so myself. So this is our 4th or 5th time back to the range, and we've almost finalized our bulletproof materials. Now, we've had to make some concessions, and we've decided to make the suit jacket slightly thinner, and it's probably not going to stop the Vector. So we brought new samples, and we're going to test against just the handgun to make sure that the blazer can stop a handgun, and the vest can stop the submachine gun. That's what I like to see. Oh, great, one went through. So there's the variability in the bullets. You might be confident in your results, but the reality is you just got 4 rounds that maybe had slightly less gunpowder in them. Some perfect. Literally on the outside of the material still. Oh, I'm faith that we can do it. It's just we want the suit to look good and not look like a sweater. Seems like we were a bit optimistic with our layups for the suit jacket. We kind of went on the lighter side of composites, and even using the P226, we were unable to get 100% success rate, which means we're gonna have to refine those samples a little bit and come back again. But we did bring more samples for the waistcoat, and we'll be going back to the Vector to see if we can get a vest that can stop a submachine gun. Okay. Easy, right? It's just a submachine gun. This is the only one I'm a little concerned about. Yay! Woohoo! Congratulations, you only broke a rib. These 2 next samples are very special. They're identical in terms of material stack-up, but one of them has been impregnated with a shear thickening fluid that the Thought Emporium made for us. Hypothetically, the shear thickening fluid should reduce the back face deformation. So the use of shear thickening fluids in soft body armors is still under research. So this is really cutting edge. So I hope it works. Bullets you can just buy off the shelf aren't the most accurate. So we actually had some custom bullets made by my barber, which are exactly 115 grain with 4.5 grams of tight group powder. So hypothetically, these bullets should have almost the same impact, which means we'll actually be able to tell if this sample or the next one with the shear thickening fluid is better. Ooh, look at that guy. That one went a little too deep for comfort. Alrighty, time to see what happened. I'm guessing it's probably gonna look very similar to the last one we shot. That actually looks pretty deep. Throughout all this testing, we've come to realize just how much goes into the development of ballistics armor. Sadly, our results using fancy nanoparticle shear thickening fluid were rather inconclusive. To do it right, we could probably spend an entire year just on refining those samples. You should, however, check out the Thought Emporium's video to learn more about it and how it could work. But we do have some good news. During the testing, we confirmed our final material composite for the vest. 16 layers of all coming in at less than 3.4 millimeters thick. So awesome. Our specialist is going to start on the vest while we go back to the gun range to finalize the material for the jacket. So this is our 5th time back at the range, and we've got our final samples. And the hope today is not a single bullet goes through, and we can get started on making the suit. One went through. You can really see like the Dyneema actually like handkerchiefed through the Kevlar. .107. Sample 109. Another pass. Woohoo. Look at that. I guess my biggest concern is when we finish the suit, we're gonna want to like unload. And if a single bullet goes through, we've lost. 110. 112. What's up? So based on the replay of that footage, the first bullet lodged itself in the bulletproof material, and then when I hit the material the second time and bounced and right into the fluorescent bulb above my head.
I never thought I'd say it, but I'm getting tired of going to the gun range. We set out to build a lightweight but durable bulletproof John Wick suit, and it took way longer than expected. But I think we've determined our winning material. The jacket is about 20 layers of a special Kevlar, with every second layer cut at a 45-degree angle. This means we can finally start assembling the full suit. But first, a quick thank you to Urban Tactical for letting us use their range, Thought Emporium, and of course, my barber for helping us out in the testing phase. Now, let's make this suit. If you want to help support the channel and own a piece of Hacksmith history, check out hacksmith.store. We've got a whole bunch of souvenirs from this project, including a sample of the material used in the vest with a squished bullet and a continental coin. Check it out at hacksmith.store.
Here we have a jacket, sort of. In this state, everything about it can be changed. And that's important for me because I don't know how the bullet-resistant panels and the wool are going to work together. We've got mock-up sleeves, we've got a mock-up collar, all of this white stitching is temporary and will be removed eventually, and we've added a lot of room in the seam allowances to make sure any adjustments can be made when we get it on James. This is a foam mock-up of the bullet-resistant panels. Now, in the real suit, it's going to go between the fabric and the lining. But what this one is going to do is it's just going to sit under my mock-up and simulate the thickness of the panel so that we can get a really good fit on James. So these are your trousers.
I hope you're wearing Hacksmith underwear.
This is your shirt.
Should bring tie pins back.
This is some weight.
Ta-da! It's just like the movie, right?
It doesn't look bulky. I was expecting it to look a lot more bulky.
This is why I have spent hours and hours agonizing over the pattern on the transformer.
The suit's definitely a bit thicker than the one in the movie, but obviously the one in the movie isn't real at all. But I'm pretty excited to see this thing lit up with some bullets and hopefully stop those bullets.
So we learned a lot of great stuff from the fitting. We're going to nip it in the waist so that James looks super nice. And we also need to make some adjustments so that the wool and the bullet-resistant layers match up so that Charles can take it, adjust them in software, and get those cut on the laser cutter. We've got the bullet-resistant layers all sewn up together. I'm a little worried about how the Kevlar is going to interact with the wool. So that's something that is still a concern. Because of how thick it is, I'm having to use some very unusual methods. Well, I want there to be no wrinkles, right? I want it to lie as smoothly as it's lying right now. You know, I don't know if that's going to be possible with this Kevlar.
Well, you can just do your best, right?
Yeah, like I've been trying to think through all the steps, trying to like make sure every step is moving towards it having a nice shape, kind of struggling with where the line is of good enough.
It's interesting because we're battling like functionality.
Please forgive me, but that voice was too hard to listen to. Even though it was changed, the voice under the change was too hard to listen to. She, they, him, shim, them, whatever, who was talking. Can't do it.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
This experiment has been vastly unsuccessful. Or has it been successful? Now we know that as of right now, using tech to get superpowers ain't looking too good as of right now, outside of little gadgets and gadgets. And having real life superpowers. They got some people with some mutations and stuff that are really cool per se. but you ain't gonna be protecting the city with them shits. I think I'm gonna end this one a little earlier than I normally would. I got an anime I want to watch that came out today. Got a couple other things to take care of before, I wake my son up at 6 o'clock. Wake my wife up at 6 something, 15, maybe 6:20. And then do our husband-wife stuff before she go to work. And she can tell you and I go to sleep like a baby. So yeah, I'm finna get out of here because it's time for me to hang out a little bit before I get to my other duties.
I'm trying to take it a pound, 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 town. I'm trying to lay that pussy down on the ground.
Type shit, come on, I'm doing unk shit. Fuck all that young shit, I'm good with unk shit. Type shit, activities, I'm doing unk shit. Fuck all that young shit, I'm good with unk shit. Activities. Posted up on the island with a bitch. They call me Unc cause I ain't on that dumb shit. Yeah, I'm rich, but act broke with a bitch. Duval Day, I really do it for the kids. Getting checks, never got to work a job. No Viagra, dick still getting hard. I can make your auntie swipe a credit card. OG in the game, realest that you ever seen. Aunties get down on the flow. Show these young ass hoes how it go. Back it up like Freak Nick 94. If she under 24, it's a no. Come on.
What's up, nieces and nephews? Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and please share. It really helps the channel out, and you already know. I appreciate y'all big time. I'll catch you on the next one. Stay cool.
Give a nigga a break. Give a nigga a break. How much more can I take? Give a nigga a break.